Know that you actually have a choice whether you want to believe in the gender binary or not. Probably like, what are you talking about? The binary, especially if you're American, practically everything guided you to believe in the binary. And what a binary is basically saying that something only has two parts. The gender binary would mean that you believe that there's only masculine and feminine, which science has debunked this. So if you're still believing in old, outdated information, which many Americans are, and a lot of people do have like an issue with people who have transitioned outside of the realm of what society wants to close people's boxes to be, whether that person be a transgender binary individual, which means that they want to look like outside how they feel on the inside, whether that means transitioning from male to female or female to male. While there's individuals who are not binary, boom, clearly that's where we get the term non-binary. Many of y'all have probably heard about that and are like, well, I knew what non-binary was because all of this talk about pronouns and blah, 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 blah. So you're probably like, are you wasting my time? Many people believe that in order to transition, you have to change everything about yourself. You have to change every which way that you get dressed. You have to change every which way that you carry yourself. You have to change the way that you speak. You have to change everything about yourself, and it's not true. That is how dangerous the binary is, because it controls pretty much everything in society is controlled by the binary. Our bathroom designations, locker room designations, products, clothing, things are either for women or men, not for people. Something that a lot of people don't understand about trans individuals is that trans binary individuals are not the only representation of trans. In order to transition in the first place, you're breaking binary molds. But if you decide to transition and then follow along in the gender roles and the binary that was already created, you're technically resubscribing, if you would, or you're just pretty much expressing yourself, which is natural. So don't take it personal that I said you're resubscribing, but you technically are. There are people who are trans and you would never even know it, not until you have a conversation with them. Some people, transitioning is literally mental awareness. It's a mental agreement with themselves. It's literally a newfound understanding of oneself could be a transition. This message was important for me to share because y'all are getting more and more and more aware of trans issues and things like this. But one issue that can be resolved collectively is the fact that even within the LGBTQ community, groups of people who will decide or try to outcast people based on if they fit in or if they fit the mold or not. And trans is trans. Like, there's so many representations of trans. So many representations of transgender. The more and more I understood myself and the more and more I understood the binary gender expression, understanding identity versus preferences, I realized that I don't care. I don't want to be what society says I want. They want me to be. I want to be me. I want to be myself. I don't care about labels. I don't care about pronouns. I do care about my masculinity and being respected. I also care about my femininity and being respected. I think that a lot of times people who don't fit the mold of binary when they are trans, they're outcasted and they're also not really embraced, or they don't feel comfortable, or a lot of times they're attacked more so than other people who want to, fit into the stealth mode of matching the binary description. It's very important for me to say in this very month that you do not have to follow the binary. I just want to raise more awareness on this because a lot of people really do feel forced and they just pretty much subscribe to a belief without much evidence or without much proof or without proper backing. And now that there's more and more proof and scientific evidence, like if you want to Google and research intersex, you're more than welcome to understand it on your own account, on your own accord. Ask me any questions, comment if you feel lost. However, gender identity is not up for debate. And because of that, that's my message. You don't have to subscribe to the binary if you don't want to. Many gay or lesbian individuals sometimes might not realize or recognize that a lot of the ways that they carry themselves or how they believe they feel about their identity, how they believe their identity is, they might not notice that it fits along the lines of non-binary. And we've pretty much been forced to subscribe to this since we were young kids. It's like, you got to wear this color or you got to wear that color. You got to wear this or you got to wear that. That's a portion of it too. And I think that a lot of people are shallow when it comes to that. A lot of people are lost. They don't even feel safe expressing themselves or even asking themselves certain questions. And I could vouch for that. I think that I was someone who constantly feared what people would think about me, whether it's my expression or not, because within itself, gay can be an identity. There are many people who are gay and you would never even know they're gay, but there are people who are gay and you would be able to pinpoint, because somewhat it's an identity. And I had to recognize that I'm more than just my preference. Like, I'm so much more. My expression is not limited. My expression is not defined by certain books or certain teachings or certain forced knowledges. Because, we got to unpack this honestly as a nation. If you're American, you know what I'm talking about.